you have bone cancer, and the Caps are going to win the Super Bowl. Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
But think about hockey, though. I mean, even if you were just a newcomer, the hits are twice as fast as football hits, and people fight.
Oh, no.
I mean, how can you get better than that?
No.
That's vicious.
Yeah, but it's the ice skates. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, that's like having razor blades, but every time I watch hockey, for most of the game, I mean, other than the checking, obviously the checking's cool. If the whole thing were about, like, checking and they really didn't give a fuck about the goal, I would be okay. But if you get into the scoring part of it, it becomes ice volley soccer. It's like, oh, God, 1-1. This is going to go on forever. Oh, I've been so cold. My nuts are frozen. Hot dogs are $17. Just throw the puck. Throw the goddamn puck. You know what I'm saying? Pick it up and just run with it. Fuck it.
See, you need to see the video of the goalie getting his throat slashed open with a pair of skates during a game.
Why don't you link that at Facebook? Those people are crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I made a comment about women's basketball once. I don't mean to start the Don Imus thing, but, you know, watching women's basketball, college, pro, honestly, it's the worst. It's worse than watching fucking tennis. It's like, why am I watching this? You know, and they don't pull their
They can't even
out.
dunk.
No, and they're huge lesbian, tribal, Amazonian women. Amazonian. Yes. Stoled. Anyway, yeah, it rains on the plains, mainly in Spain. So anyway, I want to get into Scientology. You know what? What the fuck, Louie B? Hold on. Why? Oh, you know what? We'll add him later. He's just going to start singing Journey. Oh, by the way, I want to clear up a lie, a mistruth. I've heard on other programs that Louie B was dissatisfied with being on the evil crew. Not true. He simply gets frustrated with me at times, which would be a normal human reaction to me.
Absolutely. I get frustrated with you, and that's normal.
Absolutely.
I was warned.
With me.
I was warned. So.
Yeah.
He's been warned. He should know by now your character and your character.
Right. Well, I am a character on the internet. I've heard that. I've read that. So it must be true. In fact, I saw it on InfoWars, and you know how I am with Alex Jones.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like butt buddies without the gay part. I mean, we're tight like that. Hey, us Republicans got to stick together right now before the new Nuremberg trials begin with our FEMA death camps. Oh, people have no idea what we got in store. We have a theme park of hell ready for America. All you fucking liberals, oh, payback. Yep, the Negro experiment didn't work. Bring in the Klan boys. We're going to pay. Yeah, I can't wait. Anyway, that should be a disaster waiting to happen. I don't want to get into the political conversation right now because, and you know what? I saw in the chat room of death there, you had mentioned the HBO special.
Yeah.
I believe today I watched this long, in-depth deal, all negative towards Scientology. All right, which I think is, well, I'll give my opinion, but I think I might have seen it on HBO. I'm not sure. Usually the channel's on 31, and 31 in this area, obviously, if you're in this area, you don't know. Anyway, it goes to these shows about dead people, neighbors, and how they killed each other, and they found their rotting corpus. Anyway, it got on this other channel, and then I saw Tom Cruise, who I absolutely can't stand. I cannot stand Tom. Fuck you, Tom Cruise. I've never liked him in anything he's been in. Right away, I hate the program. Excuse me. But so I see him sucking the dick of this horrible, horrible man who's was the leader recently of Scientology. And I knew it was pretty much a weird sort of quasi-religious cult type of thing for wealthy people, mostly. And obviously the people who are needy, I don't understand why anybody would actually believe in it. But I'm watching this interview, and these fucking people, they take on punishments where they're told to clean public restrooms with their toothbrush. Wealthy, and they get down their knees and they do this, and they self-impose these penalties, these tortures upon themselves to stay in this cult. And I'm not understanding what it has something to do with, maybe you can help me. It has something, I know bits and pieces. L. Ron Hubbard wrote the book, and it has something to do, and I get this confused with being a Mormon. There's a spaceship involved.
There's not much difference.
There's a crossover. There's a spaceship that eventually picks up these people. And there's aliens involved with this religion, correct?
Well, yes, there is. I'm not a super duper expert on Scientology, but I've been watching for the last couple of years, so I'm moderate. I'd say low to moderate knowledge on Scientology.
All right, so
no, it's fucking insane, and I know the psychiatry. Well, fuck them. I also know that you were just talking about people scrubbing bathroom floors with toothbrushes. They were doing it with their tongues for punishment.
Yeah, I saw that too. And they had some of the people that were. There was one guy. I'm not going to try to even remember their names. Obviously, you can refer to it online, Gaggle it, Google it. But the one gentleman was. I don't know if he's a gentleman. The one guy, and these are educated people for the most part, meaning that not necessarily intelligent, but they have degrees and nice homes. And they get told, and it reminded me of the super duper right wing, way overboard Inquisition's Catholic Church, where if you don't do this, you become excommunicated. They have different words for it. And they tell people, they have labels like you must discontinue associating with your son because his girlfriend may be related to a psychologist. And they have labels. And they actually tell these people you can't speak to them because they are basically a threat to this religion. Or so-called religion. I don't want to call it a religion, except they are tax exempt. So our government believes them to be a religion.
Well, probably only tax exempt because they fucking basically blackmail the IRS. Filed over 2,000 lawsuits against the IRS and had people working on the inside to try to get tax exempt back in the early 90s.
Yes, and they planned this out. I mean, this so reminded me of... pretty much a biography I saw on the building of the SS in Nazi. I mean, it's so close how they did this. They institute squads of people, and then they have overseers for these people. And it's like killing the people that built the pyramids, and then killing the people that killed them to make sure nobody could remember anything except for the pharaoh. I'm thinking, how does this exist in a society in America, basically? How does this exist with people who have an education, who have an actual income, housing, and so forth, and these are normal people, so-called, that you would see in the mall? How would you get involved in this? And it becomes this overwhelming cult, but it's not based on some Jesus character, so to speak. What's the payoff for this?
Oh. The payoff, the way they attract people is it's the new thing. It is what ISIS is to terrorists. That's the thing about it. It's the new religion. And it does some decent psychology in it when you get into the cognitive part. That's where anything good about Scientology ends. Everything after that is control and manipulation. Even intelligent people who don't have strong spirits can easily be brainwashed. The human creature is a weak creature, going to either lead or follow, mostly follow. So what they're going to do is get you in there and start filling your head with their stuff, and they literally set out from the beginning to an auditor. And that auditor is looking for all your secrets. And they'll tell you it's to eliminate the secrets, but really they're building a blackmail file. That's in case you try to get out. There's a $1 billion contract you have to enter into to get into Scientology, literally. So you try to get out, they start releasing the blackmail stuff.
We must have watched the same documentary. The word auditor, which, it's a cute word, by the way. You associate that with economics. The auditor is basically your overseer. He's the guy that watches you. He's the NSA, so to speak. And they have full reign and reporting powers on you. And if you get reported, you have to go to this self-imposed prison. I think they called it the house. They refer to it as a house, which is these terrible bug-infested trailers these people go to, and they may be stuck in this situation voluntarily for years and years, and they don't flee. They don't run away.
They can't. They'll be followed and harassed for the rest of their life, as well as have all their secrets divulged. But they work shifts 30 hours on, 3 hours off, until their punishment's over. And they sleep on nasty, wet mattresses and dirty floors, and they get shit to eat. Not literally shit to eat. Well, I guess sometimes they do, but not good food. And that's their punishment. So it's just beating people in submission physically for the ones that are not easily brainwashed psychologically, until they have full control over them.
Now, what's the dictator? I'm going to call him their pope, their dictator's name. They said it starts with an S, the last name. They said it so many times. And he eliminated this. I guess they had a commission internationally, and he pretty much eliminated all of them so he could have absolute power. over this group of people, and we're talking about a lot of fucking money too. This organization, this man controls a lot of fucking money. Politicians, it's some scary shit.
Yes, it is scary shit. I don't remember the dude's name that leads it now, but what people forget is this whole thing started from a science fiction writer's mind. I've written science fiction. I know how fucked up we think. There's no logic in science fiction. You're looking to go outside of all cultural norms. I mean, these people actually believe that some god, they refer to him as this, I guess you would call it like a galactic gang leader, brought a bunch of people here frozen, put them in volcanoes, and their spirits came out and got into infants, and that creates the abilities in humanity. Get the fuck out of here. Scientologists are insane. It is the most dangerous religion there is. I would rather see my kid join ISIS than become a Scientologist.
You know, ironically, I thought the same thing. At least there's if you look at it from their perspective, they're on this mission of an enemy that exists. These people, this is just batshit crazy stuff.
It is. I mean, it is insane.
And
it
it's
really
allowed. It's sanctioned. It's allowed. I know they've got a lot of bad press, but what they do is they go after, like you said, they will go after these people, and they'll literally stand in their yards. And then you've got politicians involved, you've got money involved, and of course, then you get the court system involved. So they're it's worse than a fucking mob.
Yeah, it is worse.
But
absolutely.
All of these people who quit, the higher ups that have quit, and were on this documentary on TV, every one of them said the same thing. The question I was asking, when they quit it, they're all like in this fallout shock. They go, I can't fucking believe I ever had anything to do with this. Because these are normal, everyday fucking people. That's what's scary about it.
Well, I think their weakness was being attracted to it because it was new and there were stars, but not realizing that they themselves were psychologically weak, because you have to have a pretty strong constitution to have somebody tell you something over and over and over, and coming at you from a position of essentially psychiatrist. I'm going to help you, but believe what I say. I'm going to help you, but believe what I say, over and over. You start believing that if you're weak. If you have a strong constitution, and you know what's up, and you know thinking, that shit's not going to affect you. You're going to be hearing bullshit. You're going to take a walk. You get out.
Can you imagine?
But that's why it's so secretive, because if their methodology was known to the wider public, they'd be outlawed.
They should be outlawed. This has nothing to do. I mean, and here we're going to get into constitutional law a little bit. They're going to say, well, just because I have the freedom to worship as I see fit. That's like the gun laws. The Second Amendment. I have the right to have this gun. All right, but if you question where the location of the gun is, suddenly you get hostile people. And I've said it a million times. Why can't you LoJack these fucking guns? I mean, if they want to, that technology's there. And I have the right to hide that goddamn gun. You don't have that right. You don't have a constitutional right to do that whatsoever. So how do we define the freedom to worship as see fit? I mean, worship what? I mean, that's the problem. There seems to be this, it's okay just to come up with and call yourself a religion. A lot of it's usually avoiding, losing money to the government or hoarding money or what have you, some kind of criminal element. But when it becomes dangerous like this, when you get into basically blackmail, strong arming, and so forth, under the guise of religion, why isn't this shit stomped the fuck out? See, this is where I'm torn, because I'm a huge fan of the Constitution, and I believe Scientology has the perfect right to exist in America, but I also believe that when they break the law within this religion, that needs to be prosecuted just as well anywhere. And the blackmail and the physical and verbal threats that go on, it is at a ridiculous level. And it's dangerous. And people need to be educated about it before their kid gets recruited into some kind of cult like this. And there are plenty of people that are fans of Scientology say this is not a cult. It's just a young religion. Every religion's called a cult until it's been around a couple hundred years. That's true. But I don't think this is going to last a couple hundred years, to be honest with you. I hope not. And the other thing is, a lot of these so-called religions or organized religions, they have the advantage when the second and third generation is brought into it. They grow up basically secluded from normal mainstream society, and their peer group around them is constantly reinforcing whatever their doctrine may be. you know, I'm not going to name. I know a few churches, so-called, that do this, and they must keep within